Matt Show.
If I ask a golfer, okay, a golfer to go play disc golf, which is he going to say is easier?
Disc golf.
I mean,
I just
I
feel
think
like
it depends how long if they play one
Yes.
round, they might say disc golf is harder, but
Yes.
I think they would also understand the physics behind the whole thing, like the distances involved and the accuracy involved in golf is like clearly more challenging.
So
Yeah.
so let me ask this. If you take a touring PGA professional, okay, and you say, listen, you no longer are going to play golf. We just nuked golf. It's gone. But go play disc golf. We'll pay you the same amount of money. Is that PGA professional going to be able to say, let's assume that they want to, okay? Let's take away all the hypotheticals. Are they going to be able to become a top, I'm going to try to make it a little bit more specific, a top 20 PDGA golfer? The reason I do that is because the amount of people in the sport is not even close to the same. So do you think a PGA golfer, if they put their mind to it, could become a top 20 PDGA because it's easier?
I would say theoretically it could happen, but I would put my money on somebody that's in, a little bit more athletic sport. Like golf is certainly athletic, but I would put my money on like a basketball player or a hockey player or a baseball player, probably hockey or baseball over a ball golfer.
So help me. Is that because you're saying disc golf is harder?
I'm saying disc golf involves a more athletic movement because you are the club. In ball golf, you have a very highly manufactured, thing that people engineer to be able to hit a ball really far. Whereas distance in disc golf is about form and about athleticism and musculature and things like that. Whereas ball golf, there's some of that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the few areas that disc golf could potentially be harder. But the thing is that if you can't drive well in golf, you're not going to reach anywhere close the distance that you need for a hole.
But why can't you drive well? Because you're not practicing enough. I don't think it's because it's harder. I think it's can we actually determine that it's harder? We can only do that, and I'm gonna give this out. You can only do that if you literally have the same person spending the same amount of time on each to say. But even then, what if it comes down to an athletic ability that's different? Do we say that that's harder because, well, they can't have that athletic ability, but the other does? Let me see if I have another question here that can bring this up, because I think we need to make this a more defined question. And so let me ask it this way. Is it harder? Which one takes more time to master?
Golf.
Definitely golf. I should have maybe prefaced this that I played a whole lot of ball golf in high school. Like I had season passes. I played every day, every summer for 4 years.
Like I kind of think
switched to disc golf.
Did you master golf?
I got to the point where I was shooting par occasionally.
Wow.
That's insane.
So I was pretty good at a certain point, and then I completely stopped playing, and I played like maybe 3 rounds in the last 10 years.
But so let me ask you this. And you got to understand, this is who I am, my personality I bring to the show. I'm not trying to pin you in a corner, but why then, and I don't know your rating in PDGA, and I don't care to know it right now.
I haven't played a tournament in 4.5 years.
Okay,
so
but do you think, and maybe so back when you were playing disc golf more, you're saying that you believe that you could be way better at disc golf than you were golf?
Definitely. Yeah.
And quicker.
Compared to, more quickly, for sure.
More quickly.
I mean, you definitely have some points that, like, ball golf is a little bit less accessible. You can't practice quite as much without spending a lot of money. It takes more time. And that is one of the things that draws people to disc golf too. But at the same time, like having played both, just, the distances involved, the like hand-eye coordination, the judging of distances is so much harder in ball golf because you can stand there and say like in disc golf, you can stand there and you pretty much always know if you played a lot, like, okay, that's somewhere between 300 to 330 feet away or something like that. Whereas in ball golf, it's like, I have no idea. Like that could be like 200 yards away, or that could be 230 yards away. And the only reason is because they have markers in the ground that are like, this is 220 from the pin. And then you go, okay,
because you're playing 300 foot or playing 350 yard holes. So your depth perception from when you're trying to get onto the green is a lot further than what you're doing in disc golf. When the longest hole I've ever played was, I think, hole 7 at Fox Run, which is just over 1,000 feet.
It's a crazy hole.
Yeah, it's a crazy hole, but it's very, like, after 3 shots, you're forehanding or approaching with your normal overstable fairway driver or mid range, I think I throw a Raptor on my last shot on that hole. But it's pretty simple to, and maybe that's because I've been playing disc golf obviously a lot longer, but like it's pretty easy to gauge the distance. Plus, look at the basket that you're looking at. In golf, you're looking at a skinny pole.
Yes.
You can't even see the hole in the ground.
But of course, a disc golfer is going to say golf is harder. Like, I can't understand. Like, I know I've only brought disc golfers on the show, but like, of course, a disc golfer is going to say it's harder unless if they've mastered golf, then they may or may not say it because maybe it came easy to them, right? It's an interesting proposition to say which one's harder, because is it harder to become Paul Macbeth? And I'm not going to lie, there is something off the charts about him as a player. And you can look at stats, you can look at everything. Is it harder to become him or Tiger Woods? And you can say Tiger Woods, and that could be because you're measuring that against competition. You're saying it's harder because of the competition he's going against. I'm actually asking, is it the sport itself harder to master than disc golf? And then the reason, and I'll follow it up with this. Can you ever top out in disc golf? Like, hey, we've hit the end. I've mastered it. It's over. Or are you always needing to improve your game? And I would ask the same thing about golf. And if that's the case, are we just saying, because I know the answer to that is you can never top out. You always have something to improve on. So because of that, are we going to say which one takes longer to master? Is that what we're basing this off of? Like, which one takes longer? Because you're obviously, but I feel like it's always forever. Like, you're never going to top out. So how can we say that one's actually harder than the other?
Yeah, I think that's what's crazy about sports is you can't really top out at it. Like, because there's going to be that mistake that you made at a tournament that you can always think, oh, I can improve on that. Like, I put it 98% from circle 1 this week. I should have put it 100%. So there's always something that you can work on.